Tom Sage, I sing for Wartime Manor.
And Dan Ryan, bass player for Wartime Manor.
Yep. I really didn't expect, something like this. It's really fucking nuts. People out of control. I've been non-stop with the phone calls. Everybody want those last minute tickets, but there hasn't been any at all. People, come on, you're my boy. Well, everybody's my boy,
Yeah, I don't think anybody anticipated how crazy it was going to get.
Why do you think that the demand is this high after this long? You were saying on stage that it's hard for you to believe that people are still interested in some old songs you recorded 20 years ago. Why do you think that interest is still there? People are as passionate as they used to be.
I think more than anything, it just brings them back to the time when they were young and really living, less of a family life, more chaotic, just finding your way, and, I still feel it. I think about the places we've been, places we've, partied with, old friends, people we lost, just takes you back.
And I think everybody wants to get back to that place and try to, maybe relive it again, try to do some more things, do some different stuff, and try to get back to where they were, like what he was saying,
Well, I think it's inspiring that young bands, for example, Twitching Tongues, these guys.
Yep.
Taylor's a good buddy of mine. He actually helped to mix some audio for this magazine of mine, doing buddies trading demos for years. And he recently remixed or remastered, I think, your 7-inch.
Yeah.
And he posted those tracks online. I don't know if you guys come into
I
that.
think we couldn't get the link to open, but somebody did send us a thing that they remastered.
Yeah, I didn't know, who it was, so when it had some kind of warning, and then you had to, I forget what it was, you had to agree to some shit, and, so I just passed over it figuring it was, maybe somebody involved, but I just didn't know the man. So
Yeah,
I let
I
it
tried to
go.
open it for
I'm
some
curious
reason.
to hear it, but
Yeah,
I'll forward it off to you guys.
yeah, definitely.
But that's one thing I've always kind of not had a problem with. But when we recorded those songs, they were still fresh. We didn't really even have them down. Like One Eye Jack, they didn't even know I had words for it. We just recorded it because we had extra time. I went in one night, laid the tracks down, and it was the first time they even came out of my voice, and it was weird to me. And then 2 weeks later, they hear it on the mix, like, oh shit! I mean, it wasn't really perfected yet.
Yeah, it was definitely.
And it's still like, the guitars were low on the mix. There was definitely a lot of flaws on that.
Yeah, it was definitely rushed. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing anyway.
Right, and that's what everybody knows us by, and it's, on one hand, a little embarrassed by it, but that's what people know. And, now we change it to, there's a couple parts we do that definitely heavier and updated that, a couple buddies of mine, oh, it's not the same as the demo, but, has to be. That's how it goes.
Your stance on a number of issues is pretty strong, which I think is inspiring, even if people don't agree with some of the things that you guys say. What are some of the things that your band has always stood for, socially, politically, value-wise? Yeah.
Well, I never really intended to have a message or whatever. It was more just, this part makes me feel a certain way. If this way I'm angry, well, I'm angry about this. Or I don't really try to push a message. But as far as like being pro-gun, it's not, don't take my rights away. It's just one thing's going to lead to another. And I feel it's the end of the America we used to have. I mean, it's always changing, but I don't know, it's terrifying,
Describe a bit for, let's say, people who are younger out there or who didn't experience, America the way that it was, how America was when it was better, or the things that were better about that time, and what of those times has deteriorated or eroded since then.
It just seems like every day there's a new law for something that wants to infringe on a right that you had. They just want to keep micromanaging. And, you can own a gun, but you can't put 6 or 7 bullets in it. all right, now you can't have 6 or 7 bullets. Now you can't have that particular gun. You can only have this one. You know, they just want to keep taking rights away. I mean, especially in New York State, we have more laws than any state.
So basically, government meddling in people's business.
You know, constantly.
Well, it's not just that. It's the personal liberties are definitely minimized. You know, right down to I'm afraid to talk with my phone next to me because I know there's a program somewhere that it'll flag certain words, and you say certain words so many times they look into you. Next thing you know, they're auditing you with IRS. I mean, anything. It's pretty deep, and it's definitely not the same.
So, why do you think the government wants to have such access to everybody's every move?
Well, it's definitely a good way to prevent certain bad things to happen. I totally agree with it is safer, but it's not better. It's and you never really know what the actual reason is, and you got I don't know. It's like a 10-part answer. Politicians. See, how can I word this? Everybody's just trying to keep their job. They're not really trying to do the right thing. There is like, why don't they do this? Why don't they do this? No one really has control of anything. It's just a bunch of people fucking trying to please whoever's supporting them. They're lobbyists. They're big money. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Everybody has their own, you know, reason why they do things, their own personal goals, you know, their own reason why they want to get this law passed or do this thing, you know, to benefit themselves. They all have their own agendas.
Yeah. So I mean, besides profit and personal gain, are those the only goals and motivations of the governments and the banks and Wall Street and the corporations who make the economy so shitty for most of us?
It definitely seems that way. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you guys are obviously survivors. A lot of your friends, a lot of my friends and family passed away over the years before their time. And it's one of the things that brought me here many years ago. And that keeps me here because, you know, when I struggle, when I hit my rock bottom, instead of turning to, you know, substance abuse or self-destruction, which still, we all flirt with that, you know? But even though I try to avoid that, the music is there for me. So this music really is the art of struggle, the sound that represents struggle.
well, I mean, to tell you the truth, it's the one thing that's never failed me. I mean, every time I've been down and out or, you know, going through divorce or whatever it is, you know, I always had music. It was the one thing that never left me, you know? So I could always fall back on it.
For me, it was more of just therapy. You know, grab the microphone and let it the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know, I feel better. You know, some handshakes and hugs, and see you next practice. It's kind of just a release.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a safer way too. I mean, there's no assault charges in practice, you know? Well, yeah, you know?
yeah,
Happens to
other
somebody.
situations. I don't know. I never really. I don't like people knowing me or talking about me. I don't want to be somebody. I'm uncomfortable with it. I mean, I'm not a nervous person. I can play out and not care nothing about it, but I don't like people knowing or thinking they know me or just having an opinion, or you know, you got the haters because they got a band that's better than ours, but they're gonna have something to say, and like all that shit, it just bothers me. But you just gotta let it go off. Everybody has a different angle. Some people are trying to make it as musicians. Us, we just want to jam, bug the fuck out, you know, have a good time, and
we always say at practice, what people think about us is none of our business.
right, because otherwise it's just gonna hurt your feelings, bring you down.
What are some of the struggles that you guys have gone through over the years for the young people watching who are going through similar struggles?
Growing up in general, becoming an adult and getting a job and getting your life together and getting stable, you know, going through all that chaos just to get stable, where you don't have to worry about a place to live or high bills are gonna get paid, things like that, you know?
Recovering when things change and adapt, overcome.
You know, and for certain years, even this band for certain years had to go away for a couple of years, you know, so that people could get straight with themselves, you know? So,
Well, I mean, look, it's almost like, you know, people underestimate just how much energy and time and money and, you know, pain and struggle and waiting it takes just to survive.
Yeah.
You know, survival is not a quick process. It's not a quick fix. So,
There's
I mean,
really no other option. You walk through it, you know?
yeah, it's a process, I mean,
You know, we lost Dave Stack, play guitar for us. You know, that's, you know, another thing. It's like you think about it all the time, and it, you know,
yeah.
and next it's going to be us. You know, one of us is going to be shaking hands at the service.
well, you know, I mean, let's hope not, so that day doesn't come too soon, you know?
Of course.
What are some of the ways that you guys have learned to adapt and survive in this crazy life, in this crazy economy, crazy time?
It's just, you know, I work as much as I can. I try to keep my external activities to a minimum, you know, band practice, work, go home. Try not to get involved in all the other things that I've seen bring people down, you know, just
What are some of those things?
drugs has been a big one. We had a lot of friends fall off to drugs, a lot of people die, overdose, you know. Just, I don't want to be weak like that. I don't want to have to turn to something as an excuse. Oh, I'm having a bad day, oh my God, you know, let me go smoke crack, you know, no.
Yeah.
I never understood it. If you see it happen over and over, you know, crack, heroin, you know, you support the people that are going through those struggles, and you know, try to be there for them. Some tough love sometimes, but if you know, there's two things: you're gonna like it and want to do it again, or you're not gonna like it and wish you didn't do it. So why would you fuck around?
And there's just nothing good about it at all. It's just, I don't understand what gets into somebody's head that it would be a good idea to go do that shit.
But you know, it's usually when someone hits rock bottom and, you know, maybe they could get suicidal and don't give a fuck and go for broke, and then they don't want to be all the way anymore, and now they're stuck. You know,
Yeah, but I mean, I know in South Troy, our families, all the families were raised different. Stop crying about it. Pick yourself up. Stop being a fucking girl, you know?
Yeah.
Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go about your business.
Yeah. Any other things you want to offer to the people out there who are struggling, who are going through hard times? If fans of your band, people watching this obviously are fans of your band, or they're curious to know more about Wartime Manor, and what you guys as people, you know, while you're still around, how you survived.
there really is no.
I mean, everybody's different, but it would just say, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and be stronger. Don't be, you know, don't give up. And don't, you know, refuse to be that person that just loses.
Yeah.
Refuse.
You need help, reach out. I mean, there are no answers. Even people that got it good still got problems.
I mean,
I don't know anybody got their shit together.
right. I mean, how you feel inside goes a long way. If you set a goal for yourself and you're determined enough, you'll reach it. So,
Cool, man. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Lastly, what's next for Wartime Manor? Because you guys played a fucking scorcher last night. The energy was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was really nice. I mean, got a
Yeah.
good reaction. I'm glad that it was vicious and still a lot of hugs and handshakes. That really, you know, I got good feedback from
that's
that.
it. We just want to keep it going. Write
You
some
know,
new songs, do a new CD. You know?
You know, not looking to do nothing, you know, not to do no tours. Like I said, I'm not a rock star. I don't feel I'm all that talented. I just, people remember a certain feel, and, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, when you doing the Wartime, you know, it's like, let it go, you know.
We're just
Been writing music for fucking years in our own
We're just gonna
own
play
little worlds.
and what comes comes. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't want to be a trying something. You know, I'm a family man. I'm a carpenter. I'm not a musician. You know, there's real musicians out here tonight even that deserve, you know, some real recognition. Not, you know, we're just kind of going through the motions of what we like. and we're glad that people appreciate it.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for your time, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking forward to tonight. It's gonna be fucking probably just
Yeah.
as good, if not better.
Yo.
Yeah.
And thanks to you guys for keeping the vibe alive, keeping your sound alive, and you
Always.
know, with these videos, at least kids who weren't here outside the region can learn about you guys, learn a thing or two about you guys. I think that'd be cool. You know, you don't have to tour on that or anything.
No, but
No, I
like
know.
it says, it's not that we're opposed to it. It's just, you know, if it happens, it happens. It's just one of those things.
People do love your merchandise, though. That's some controversial merchandise, some great merchandise.
Yeah, that was actually kind of like a joke that went pretty good. That's, you know, like even the skateboards, because somebody made a post, you know, things that are getting out of hand, reunion bands, you're old, you missed the boat, you know. It's like, just shut your mouth and worry about your band, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to buy a gas mask from us, don't.
Right. Me personally, I'd have one for everyone in my family if they're available, so, you know, everything, be prepared.
Is there a nuclear holocaust coming? Is the end of the world coming? That's the last question.
Eventually, I guess.
I don't think it would be nuclear holocaust. I think it would be the economy. I believe has already collapsed, and everybody's just grabbing up whatever's left. The technology is totally, you know, just going to be. There's no middlemen no more. There's no, like, you know, before you needed something special for your truck, you go to the truck store, they order it. Now it just comes in the mail. So the money, the whole everything is just completely changing.
There definitely will
And-
be civil unrest, so
And
really,
like, you
in
know,
some shape or
I
form.
like this. Well, I don't like to see, but I'm curious to how, like, you know, even something simple like Obamacare situation where, you know, first they fine you if you don't have it, then you know, they could put a levy on your house. You know, it's like I believe that they already know that it's over, and they're setting things up. You know, all these checkpoints and extra ammo they're buying. It's you know, it's a sign of the times, and it's not going to be good.
Okay, thanks, guys. Wartime Manor 2014,
Yeah.
stronger than ever.
Yeah, just another day.
Still strong after all these years. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.